This trailer analyzes three philosophical ideas in The Departed: heroic individualism with Billy Costigan, Colin Sullivan's conflict with the other, and the concept of a doppelganger.
Oh, you got family connections down in Southie, right? Through your father? Why don't you tell us about your Uncle Jackie?
Nietzsche's theory of heroic individualism can be applied to the story of Billy Costigan becoming a police officer. As he graduates the police academy, his integrity is questioned by Sergeant Dignam Mark Wahlberg and Captain Queenan because he comes from a family of the notoriously mob-influenced area of Southie, Massachusetts. He appears to be another mobster from Southie, but due to his parents' divorce, he was educated and raised in the affluent area of northern Boston. We later learn the true motives of Billy's interest in becoming a police officer is actually because he wants to live a meaningful and noble life, unlike his father's side of the family, from which he is often associated with. Nietzsche's theory applies to Billy because he wanted to dictate his own life rather than live in his father's legacy.
He was a carpet layer for Jordan Marsh.
Uncle Jackie was a small-time bookie who tended bar at the Vets in Somerville. He got popped by Nicastro in '95. We found his body out by the airport.
That's right. I remember his funeral.
Good. Closed casket?
That's right.
So, tell anybody up at Deerfield? That is before you got kicked out for wailing on a gym teacher with a folding chair? You had an Uncle met his demise like that?
Although short, this scene exposed Costigan's family history with the mob, as his uncle Jackie was killed due to a mob-related incident. This is why Sergeant Dignam rationally questions Costigan's motives. Nietzsche's theory is applied to Costigan because he determined his own destiny rather than have his actions dictated by his father's legacy, also known as the herd.
You Johnny Sullivan's kid?
Colin Sullivan is a character whose parents had died when he was a child and was living with his grandmother in Southie. Everyone in Southie knew who Frank Costello was, the notoriously powerful mob boss. One day, Sullivan is eating breakfast in the local corner store when Costello came in to collect money from the owner. Costello recognizes who Sullivan is and gives him free groceries and pocket change. This is the beginning of their relationship, a relationship which Colin becomes involved in due to his lack of a father figure.
You like bologna and cheese? Give him some cold cuts, bro, some mayo in. You like comic books? You do good in school?
Yeah.
That's good. I did too. They call that a paradox. Just keep it. Buy yourself some makeup. You ever want to earn a little extra money, you come by L Street. You know where I am on L Street? Good. Good boy.
This is the beginning of Sullivan's conflict with the other.
Church wants you in your place. Kneel, stand, kneel, stand. You go for that sort of thing, I don't know what to do for you. A man makes his own way. No one gives it to you. You have to take it. Non serviam.
James Joyce.
Smart, Colin. You can be it. That's what they don't tell you in the church. When I was your age, they would say we could become cops or criminals. Today, what I'm saying to you is this. When you're facing a loaded gun, what's the difference? It's my boy. School's out.
Thank you, Frank.
You earned it. No more pencils, no more books.
Sarge's philosophy on conflict with the other very seamlessly applies to Colin Sullivan and Frank Costello's relationship. Costello takes Sullivan in at a young and vulnerable age and shapes him. Costello has Sullivan become a police officer for the purpose of being an informant. Sullivan makes no independent decisions in his life. Costello has an influence on everything he does. As the movie progresses, Sullivan gradually begins to try to free himself from Frank. However, as Costello is the other, Sullivan is enslaved. Throughout the film, Colin Sullivan and Billy Costigan are portrayed as doppelgangers. Costigan is a character that grew up and decided his own fate, to be in the police force, but ironically was assigned to a special operations unit that forced him to go undercover in Costello's mob and be a police informant. Sullivan is a character that was molded by Costello at a young age and worked to be a detective for the purpose of being a mole for Costello. Both characters act exactly the opposite of each other. As the film progresses, they are both tasked with identifying the informant in their respective agencies. As is usual with doppelgangers, they meet for the first time at the end of the movie in a climactic way. Combining the elements of Costigan's heroic individualism and Sullivan's conflict with the other yielded each other's doppelganger. Sullivan lives a life that Costigan would seemingly be more accustomed to, while Costigan lives a noble life that Sullivan artificially lives. The Departed is the story of bad faith, and while Costigan broke free of it, Sullivan entered it.